Assalamu alaikum, and welcome to another episode of the Chocolate Sheikh. Inshallah, today I'd like to do part 2 on the previous video that I told you I would speak about, and that is about modest dress. How it is that we should be presenting ourselves to the world. What it is you're supposed to wear, our attire. In the previous video, I spoke about that attire as regards the Quran Kareem, or how it is that the Muslim peoples in the world dress. And it's not too far away from what it is that we have from the Jewish scripture and the Christian scripture as well, the Torah and the Bible, is that we should cover ourselves in a modest way, or we should cover ourselves in a way that alludes to taqwa. Taqwa meaning God consciousness, or that the individual who is believing and wearing the attire has God in mind. Right? That we're being conscious of our Creator. We're being conscious of a divine decree about how it is that the believing people should dress themselves, or how it is that we should behave en masse in everything that we do, all of the human spheres of activity. So when we dress with the mindset of taqwa. And that, again, was directed from the Quran to Bani Adam, right? To the children of Adam, which means in the Islamic lore, it means all of humanity. It's not just talking about believing people. It's not just talking about Jewish people or Muslim people. It's saying, hey, children of Adam, right? The children of humanity, or the people of humanity, or the human being, that we should dress in a way that taqwa is on our mind. God consciousness is on our mind. With that being said, I started to talk about our women folk as I ended the previous video. I wanted to go ahead and start there today and wrap it up about how it is that we as the babas, right? The men folk, the fathers, the shuyukh, the males, the white beards, where we should step in to make sure that we do what's necessary to direct and help to control how it is that the human family dress. So let's start with the women folk first. I said in the previous video that I thought that the dress of the modern woman is disgusting. It is despicable. It is embarrassing. It is outright trashy out here. And I said in the previous video, somebody has to tell you that. And that is the white beards, right? The fathers of these girls. The uncles of these girls, the grandfathers of these young ladies. But I'll get back to that in a minute. What I want to speak about is to remind the females, to remind the young ladies who might come across my video, the young ladies who themselves are looking for a barber. They're looking for the older man to help them out. You know that you need the guidance, so you come to a channel like this so a brother like me can help you get the guidance. Somebody who's almost lived 60 years on the planet Earth. Somebody can help direct you and tell you what it is that you need to know, what you need to hear, whether you like it or not. So one of the things that I wanted to say, and we won't make this video long, but we wanted to say that the dress out here is atrocious. And where is this coming from? The Quran Kareem alluded to our forefathers being put out of their paradise, right? They were put out of their garden because they were deceived by the devils. And I explained in the last video that these devils are apparent today. Who are the people that's dressing these women out here? Where are these fashions coming from? Who's teaching us to put our clothes on this way? Young ladies, who are teaching you that? We have a cousin of Freud back in the 1940s and the 50s who came out right. It wasn't even a secret. He just came out right and said, well, one of the things that we need to do is we need to start learning how to dress these women. This is a psychological issue. So he, like his uncle Freud, was a psychologist, and he was also an advertiser, or he was hired by advertisement companies. To do what? To start to bolster the image of the working woman, and to have these women be able to come out into the workplace. So he started to now take them out of their modest dress And this can be verified. Just look it up yourselves. This is the cousin of Freud. I forget his name because I'm coming off the top of my head. I did this video really to come out of my heart based on Quranic information and the ahadith that we have in the religion of Islam. The ahadith mean the traditions and those things that were written down about Prophet Muhammad and how he lived his life and how he understood the religion, how he taught the religion. So I didn't come here to talk about Freud, but it's just something that just came to my mind. So let's talk about Freud or his cousin, who was also a psychologist and a person that was used by the advertisement companies. So he said that one of the things we need to do to get these women, if they're going to be in the workplace or to get them in the workplace, is we have to strip this modesty down some. We have to make their clothes more streamlined. So instead of flowing dresses, they have to be in the factories. They have to be around machines. So they can't have all these flowing dresses on. We have to streamline their clothes now, bring their clothes closer to the body so that they won't get caught in the machines that were manufacturing things at that time. We also have to put them more uniform, streamline them and put them more in a uniform. Also, they're going to be around us all day, men. Now you got to make them a little sexy now. Can't have all these women coming out of these households looking like they're Mary Poppins or something, right? Somebody that's from the Little House on the Prairie series. So no, man, they got to be sexy, bro. They're going to be around us all day. Show a little thigh. Show a little legs. Show a little calves. Let me see that neck. Show me that bust. This is what they did. And they put these women inside of these offices and inside of these plants and inside of these workspaces with men side by side. And now we have something called work husbands. Your wife and my wife out here in these jobs, in these streets, working beside men, and they've got a job husband, right? The colloquial term, work wives, that our wives are out here being pimped out by men on their jobs, right? Being objectified. Men looking at our wives' backsides as they pass by and thighs as they pass by. The men talk about it all the time, about how beautiful her face is or her hair is, her nails, her feet, right? Men do it all the time. All the time. And this is another man's wife or another man's daughter. And then the women, instead of trying to be modest about it, they go to the extremes about it. Now, instead of just having regular lashes, now they have lashes so far out, they look like spiders on their eyes. I'm frightened by some of these women when they turn around and look at it. It's scary. I don't even know why they think it's attractive. Because I know no man that I've ever spoken to who thought those type of lashes are attractive. Only the women themselves feel like they're attractive. And then they tighten up their clothes on their bodies in a way where they make their breasts poke out. Right? So the busts just poke out now. No, nothing to be modest about. They're actually making the breast look right in your face. And this is what they're trying to do. Don't even talk about that backside, especially you black women. Good God Almighty. The blacks and the Latinos, this is getting ridiculous. And the white girls are following suit by buying butts, right? BBLs. They're going out now and buying butts, right? To try to mimic the backsides of the blacks and the Latinos. So it's insane out here. And then again, the men folk, we see that. And now with the exaggeration of the backsides and the exaggerations of the bust, and now all the Botox in the face and the cutting off of the noses and rearrangement of the lips and the mouth. I mean, the women are starting to look like monsters out here. You know, if you remember the Muppet Show, they look like Madam on the Muppet Show. It's just despicable out here. In the face, that is. And in the bodies, they just look like some cartoon figure, right? Men don't even like that anymore. We getting to the point where everybody want the natural woman now, right? Everybody's running back toward the thinner natural women and running away from all these BBLs and all of this, these fake busts and fake backsides, right? So now we've seen the advertisers and their companies and putting women in the workplace side by side with men. Don't even talk about feminism, right? Because feminism there's a type or strain of feminism that's definitely homosexual. It's also man-hating, right? They have a very man-hating spirit that floats in a certain type of feminism. And that spirit is turning in on itself, right? So women are more satisfied with what women are saying and how they look toward women than they are toward what it is that we men say we are attracted to. So we don't forget about what they're attracted to. We ourselves have our own world, right? This is the women's mindset. They're more concerned about what's going on in their own minds, and they'll dress themselves according to their own standards. That has nothing to do about why that men are attracted to it. Men are not even attracted to these things. But in the mind of women, and going back and forth with women speak, as always say, man speak, right? So I'll put it back on them. When you start dealing with women speak, then now you start to get these atrocious looks that are being put on these sisters. You look horrible. You look terrible. And again, somebody got to tell you. So this is where the barbers come in. This is where I come in. The white beards come in. To be able to tell you that you look like a fool. Somebody has to tell you, you look foolish. And what you're doing, men are not even attracted to. Right? And somebody got to tell you that. You look awful out here, in the face with the Botox. With all these man-made body parts that you're sticking on yourselves. The fake nails that come out to here look like cat claws. The fake toenails now that are sticking out look like cat claws. What man is attracted to that? Name me one. Name me one man except some gay man in Paris who's dressing you that way. Right? Or in New York. Some gay man in New York who's dressing you that way. Because a heterosexual man who loves women wouldn't dare put that on his wife or his daughters. Subhanallah, astaghfirullah, right? Wouldn't dare allow his daughter to look like that, to say that she was attractive, to give to a man in marriage, right? Or a father or a husband to send his wife into the workplace with nails that look like cat claws and daggers, right? Eyelashes out here that look like spiders on them. Toenails out here that look like cat claws or tiger claws. No man, no sensible man, heterosexual man would do that. So this is the part two that I want to bring up. If we're going to dress, then we should dress in the framework of taqwa, God consciousness. And if we can't dress in the framework of God consciousness, then know that you are now in the deception of the shayateen, that you are now being deceived by the devils. They got you. And you could think that that's what you want to wear. Oh, this is what I want to wear, right? No, I've decided to do this. This is coming from myself, not from the television, not from the magazines. This is not coming from what it is that the sheikh is saying from the white man. You can say that and fool yourself if you want to, but that's a part of the deception. So those of us who are outside of that deception, who are outside of it looking in on you, we are telling you, you look like a goddamn clown out here. Baba got to tell you, and Baba's telling you, you look like a clown. You look like a fool. You look like a 304. I heard you couldn't use the word, the word W-H-O-R-E. You can't use that on YouTube. So I heard that I was supposed to use the term 304, okay? So that's what you look like, a 304. Now for the men, and I'll do this in about 2 or 3 minutes. May God have mercy on the men. Ooh, may God have mercy on us, because Allah is going to spank us. Oh, the Western man's going to get a spanking. Ooh. To let your daughters go outside of their homes looking like 304s. To let your wife go into a workplace and you know that that boss in that workplace looks at your wife backside when she passed by, and you let her walk out with a tight dress on, especially blacks and Latinos, those big backsides, right? And small waistlines. And you know your wife is an attractive woman, and you let your wife go outside them doors looking like a 304 for another man to bed up inside of a closet on that job, because I know you know that's happening. You got to be a fool to think it's not happening. Like, it's happened to the other guy, but not you. It's happened to him, but not me. Come on, brothers, let's not be that stupid. To let your daughters go outside that door. And I've talked to brothers who come to my job, who come to my business, about their daughters coming into my business. I've had those conversations. And I'll tell you, Those are hard conversations to have. And I'll also tell you that those brothers are very uncomfortable. And I can see when I bring that subject up, I can see that they feel like they're out of control. They feel like they have no control over the matter. They feel like they can't speak on it because most probably when they said something in the past or they heard somebody else say something in the past, they were completely shut down. So brothers have learned now to hold their mouths, to hold their tongues, to not speak about the way their wives dress, to not speak about the way that their daughters dress. We're now told to hush up and shut up because this is some type of way of showing that women have freedom. I'm free, right? This is what the devil's taught. This is what the devils teach, that for your wife to dress as a 304 and your daughter to dress like one as well, that's freedom, right? And to ask your wife or your daughter to dress modestly, oh my God, that's oppression of the highest level. What you're trying to do, put a 10 over them and have them looking like the women of the Taliban, as they say, the Taliban. Is that what we're trying to do here? Subhanallah. May God have mercy on the brothers, you fathers, and you husbands. Oh, you ought to be ashamed because there's going to be a great punishment coming for you behind that. So the way that we get control of this is, brothers, you have to get control of your own family and your own daughters and teach them about modesty, right? Teach them about taqwa. And if we have an understanding about taqwa, then we'll have an understanding about modesty and how we're supposed to dress ourselves. That the best attire for the sons of Adam and the daughters of Adam is taqwa. So that's my message for today. If you appreciate it, please do me a favor and like it. And if you have not already, please subscribe to my channel. Remember, although today I came with a cutting tongue, it's always done in love. Y'all take care. Peace.